Hi, grade 8s. Mrs. Brown-Dunthorne here, just to talk to you a little bit about what the expectations are going to be when you start cooking in the lab. First of all, when you come in for a lab, you'll already know that you're cooking because we'll have discussed it in the class prior to your lab day. So when you come in, you're going to want to get here really quick. We're going to need all the time that we can get. You'll also know what your lab group, who's in your lab group, and those lab groups, because of COVID-19, have to stay the same. When you come in with your lab group, you will have been assigned a kitchen. I'm going to go through and show you what each of the kitchens are in just a minute. So you'll have kitchen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the island kitchen. So you'll go right to your kitchen, and in your kitchen will be all the supplies and things that you need to complete the lab. The first thing you're going to do, though, is put on an apron. You'll also see that on the countertop in your lab. Aprons, when you're done with them, have to be washed, so make sure that you put your apron in the laundry basket. And again, I'll show you where that is in just a moment. After you have your apron on, you're going to tie your hair back. If your hair is long enough to go back, it has to be tied back. On my desk, there are some hair elastics. Okay, so if you forget yours, you can borrow one. Actually, no, you can keep it after you use it. So tie your hair back. If it's long enough to go back, it does have to go back. Then you're going to wash your hands. So everybody in the class is going to wash their hands. We're going to wash them well, and we all know what that means because we'll have covered that in the food safety unit. Once your hands are washed, you have your apron on, and your hair is tied back, you can go ahead and start in on the lab. Oh, before I forget, don't mistake dish soap for hand soap. The hand soap is located on the wall beside the oven. The dish soap is located beside the sink. Dish soap is for dishes, hand soap is for hands. There is paper towel for you to dry your hands, and make sure that that goes in the organics bin. Every kitchen has an organics bin and a garbage can just for that specific kitchen. Okay, so now you're ready to start. In your kitchen, on a little clip, there will be a recipe. It's in a plastic covering so that after you're done the lab, you can wipe off the plastic covering so that it's ready for the next class to use. So go ahead and get the recipe. Also in your kitchen, you'll see all the equipment that you'll need to complete the lab, and that'll be all clean and organized and nice, neat, and tidy on a tray. So any bowls or measuring cups or pans or anything that you need to complete the lab that we're going to be doing will be on that tray. Also on that tray will be some dishcloths and cup towels so that you can use those to clean up at the very end of the lab. Using all of that equipment, you will complete the recipe. The ingredients this year that you'll be using will be also divided out and in your kitchen. We're going to have to do that prep work ahead of time so that we're not all sharing the flour or sharing the eggs. Everybody's going to have those divided out ahead of time. So that will also be all ready to go in your kitchen. So you're just going to work together to complete the lab. The COVID-19 protocols request that we have one student in the group do all of the serving of the food. So you can decide who that is. If you can't decide, we'll assign somebody. So once the recipe is done, then hopefully we'll have lots of time for you to sit, relax, and enjoy the food. If you don't want the food, then we can either have somebody else in the class have a second portion. Usually that's not a problem with your classmates, or you can share with some of the other teachers in the building. Sometimes students don't want to eat it at that time, so if you have a container and you'd like to take your portion home with you, that will be fine too. What we do ask is that you don't take more than what the recipe calls for. So for instance, when we're making the chicken fajitas, even though you might want more cheese, please ask before you just take it. A lot of times, Ms. Corkum and I will have purchased extra of some ingredients, but if you take more and we haven't purchased more, then that means somebody else is going to be without that ingredient. I don't like to waste food, so if you know that this what we're making is something that you're not going to want to eat, that's fine. There's things that I don't like too. But what we will ask is that you tell us ahead of time so we can make a plan for that extra food so that we're not wasting food. After you've eaten your food, and hopefully again we've had some time to sit and relax while you're doing that, then we'll clean up. I have 3 cleanup jobs. The first one is everything you'll do with a dishcloth. So that will be cleaning off the space where your group ate, like the table area. It will be cleaning all of the dishes, washing all the dishes, and we'll have discussed how to do that properly. The second job is anything you would do with the drying cloth. So it would be drying off the table where you ate, drying all the dishes. And the third job is what I call the host or the hostess. This is the person that organizes all the equipment nice and neat and tidy, clean, back up on the tray, so that that tray is full of clean equipment ready for the next class. The host or hostess also sweeps the floor. This year, we're going to ask that you clean the broom and dustpan handles off with a Lysol wipe after you're done using them. The dustpan and the broom are located in the corner behind the door that we use as our entrance door. After everything is complete, all the cleaning, you're going to ask Miss Corkum or myself to inspect your kitchen. No group or no person in a group gets to leave until you've had your kitchen inspected. So recipes should be back in the plastic, cleaned off, hanging on the clip that holds the recipes. All of the equipment should be back on the tray. All the leftover ingredients should be back on the tray in your kitchen. We're also going to ask that you not go from kitchen to kitchen. Again, it's one of the COVID protocols and we have to agree to these in order to be able to allow you to cook in the labs. I think that's it. I'm going to do a second video, turn the camera around, and just kind of do a walkthrough to show you some of the things that I was talking about. Okay? We'll see you again in video number 2.